Welcome to Innovation Guelph Presents Toolkit Tuesday. Today's session is called Amazon 101, the 2021 edition. Throughout the pandemic, Amazon has become a channel that no longer can be ignored. With access to millions of customers instantly, the opportunity is enormous. In this session, Don will introduce you to what it means to sell on Amazon, how to differentiate your product from others, and explain how you can successfully reach more customers without impacting your existing relationships. So I'm Mickey Campo. Hello, a program manager at Innovation Guelph, and I'm so happy you decided to join us today. I'd like to take a minute to thank our corporate sponsors, Ernst & Young, ISU Software Corps, Marexis, Miller Thompson, OKR Financial, Reese Informatica, Invest in Guelph, and BDO. We're very grateful for their generosity and support in everything that we do. In addition, I would like to say thank you to Sign Language Interpreting Associates of Ottawa. We thank you for providing ASL interpretation at these Toolkit Tuesday sessions. So thank you. Before I introduce you to Don, or Amadon as we call him, before I introduce him to you today, some quick housekeeping. Today's session will be recorded and posted publicly on Innovation Guelph's YouTube channel. We ask that you turn off your mics for the presentation, and if you have any questions, you type them in the chat box below. Jordan will be monitoring the conversation and will pose your questions when the right moment to do so appears, and of course, during the last 30 minutes of today's interactive Q&A component. To experience today's presentation in American Sign Language, please pin or spotlight the presenter, Don, and both the interpreters, Liz and Jen, to the top of your gallery. In addition, anyone in today's session can access the Zoom closed caption function by clicking on the closed captioning option, also at the bottom of your screen. Well, many of you on the call today know Innovation Guelph and all that we do. There are a few of you on the call who may not. So quickly, a little bit about us. Innovation Guelph is one of 17 regional innovation centers in Ontario. And while we're located in Guelph, we do serve the entire region of Southern Ontario, and we have one national program. So what this means is that while most of our clients are relatively close by, we do have clients in BC all the way to Nova Scotia, all throughout Ontario. So we work with our clients, supporting them through multiple stages of business growth, from startup to scale up. Lots of programs, lots of workshops, and even a big trade show. So a little plug. The Innovation Expo will be coming on October 21st for its third year. Stay tuned to our social media or visit the website at ontarioinnovation.ca. I won't take any more time of your time right now. So let me introduce our speaker to you today and get the show on the road. So please do remember to fill out your feedback form before closing out on the call today. We'll post the link in the chat box shortly. And again, we'll post it at the end of today's session. So Toolkit Tuesday. Today will be presented by Don Thompson, who I mentioned we call Amadon. Don is an innovative product development expert focused on helping technology startups deliver new product solutions that solve real customer problems for global marketplace success. His expertise is owned by more than 25 years of industry experience developing and managing new products for top-performing Fortune 100 companies, including Amazon, BlackBerry, and GE. So over to you, Amadon. Thank you so much for being here today.
I need to get a haircut, match my picture. I'll get there eventually here. Okay, so I think Jordan is going to be doing a quick poll. While she's doing that, we'll just get my screen sharing and get things on the road here. Share screen. Okay. Just verify you can see my screen. Yes, excelente. Okay. So now I cannot see There we go. I'm just going to pin the ASL so that I can see her. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So I did an Amazon session back in the year 2019, which seems like a long time ago. And Mickey had asked that we take an opportunity to do a bit of a refresh with what does Amazon look like in 2021. As many of you are most likely aware, the pandemic has caused a lot of online shopping and has created a very large surge in not just regular online, but direct product on Amazon. Amazon has expanded their fulfillment capacities and capabilities, and it's important to understand how we can use this to supplement our income, our sales channels, and in the end is make sure that we do not ruin the existing relationships that we may already have. Okay, so I'll be going through some refresh statistics on Amazon in 2021. We'll be talking about what, sorry, I'm getting feedback. There we go. We'll be talking about some example products that have are already up on Amazon. I've used one example that I had done a couple years back and just refreshed some of the information there. And we can talk about how we get found on Amazon, how do we make money through Amazon, and then a lot of people ask me about the difference between being a vendor and a seller on Amazon. I know when shows are in place, a lot of times buyers from Amazon are going around shows to try to buy products and what have you. And so I want to make sure that I can answer any of those questions. Okay. If there are any questions that pop up, I'm most likely not going to see them, but put them into the chat. Jordan, if it's something from the slide I was just on, just stop me and I'll answer any of the questions that are for that slide. Or there's a section at the end where we can use some time to answer some specific questions and just understand where the opportunity is for you. Okay. So I'm not sure, Jordan, if the poll is available or not. I know it was a last minute request, so.
Yeah, I have two, I set it up as two questions here, Don. So
okay.
Our first question here.
Do I, oh, you do it there, cool.
I have, are you curious about selling on Amazon?
Yep.
And then I set our other one up as another question. You said you had 3 questions, but I only got 2.
Yeah, it's okay. I was going to put them all in the same poll, but it's all good. Okay. So definitely curiosity, and Mickey's not curious, I'm assuming. She's heard all this before. She's the one. So what's the next poll?
Okay. Our next poll, I think I have to share our results. Okay.
Yep.
And there we go. So sorry. Our next poll is, are you already selling on Amazon?
Excellent. And I know Dinah is almost selling on Amazon, so I didn't put that as an option. Okay, so 25% of you are already selling on Amazon, which is great to know. And I would love, even if in the chat, to send myself just a direct message with what are the product codes for your, or the links to those pages. I'd love to take a look at them, and if you're comfortable, I can use them as a bit of a case study. If you think it'll help, or if you ask questions afterwards in the question section, then we can take a look at that. Okay, awesome. So it is interesting to see Amazon in 2021. Let me just move through here. And I'm certain most of you are selling on Amazon, or sorry, on buying on Amazon. And it's become the go-to channel for people who are product focused. And what I like to think of Amazon as is it's become the product Google location, where people, they look for products, not problems. Whereas on Google, they look for problems, not products. It's a very high level way of distinguishing the two different spaces. Okay. Now, what I want to share with you, and that should have been 2021. My editor, i.e. me, didn't do that. Let's share that again. There we go, 2021, because they are updated. Okay. So 9 out of 10 consumers, they price check a product on Amazon. Okay. And so I'm not sure if you are like me, where I will scan a product with the barcode scanner on the Amazon app and see if that price of sauce, sauce or anything I'm buying at the grocery store can be found cheaper on Amazon. I do it all the time, and I'm sure most people are doing it at least some of the time. So 9 out of 10 people are doing this check. And what it means is we have to be aware that customers are looking for the best deal on the product and to buy from a trusted source. Okay. 2.7 billion people per month go to Amazon worldwide.
Sen gitmiş.
Hmm.
Bildirim gitmiş.
There we go. That wasn't me. So 2.7 billion people per month go to Amazon worldwide. And what that means is they're going there to buy product. Okay. Very few people go to Amazon to just browse around. There are certainly deal hunters and what have you, but they're almost like people who are going around for garage sale shopping. Like they're going to buy something. It's looking for the best deal, perhaps, but Amazon, there's a ton of buyer intent, and we want to capture that. Okay, very little window shopping happens on Amazon. On Amazon, there's more than 353 million products that are sold on Amazon, and that's a lot of products, and it's growing. So the reason it's growing, the reason people keep listing products on Amazon is because customers are going to buy those products. 200 million people have an Amazon Prime. Not sure why I was muted there for a second. Jordan, you hear me okay? Okay, good. I'll reshare. Okay, it's just, okay. A Prime member spends roughly $2,000 a year on Amazon. And a non-Prime member will spend less than $1,000 a year, but a Prime member will spend $2,000 a year on products. And honestly, there are people who have packages show up every day at their front doorstep for stuff that they're buying. Okay. One of the things that I get asked frequently is whether it makes sense to have Amazon do the shipping and fulfillment for me through Fulfilled by Amazon. And it does give a 30 to 50% increase in sales. I have a number of clients that I've worked with where we started off as Fulfilled by Merchant, where we just use Amazon as a channel to sell through and we ship directly to the customer. But if you're like most people, you have a Prime membership and you expect the product to show up the day before it actually, so you actually bought it, right? We have no patience to wait for something that's going to ship in 5 to 7 days. We want it there in 1 or 2 days max, or we're out. So having that FBA set up is incredibly important because most consumers want product immediately. That's just the way it is. Amazon ships more than 1.6 million packages per day. And so a lot of times, again, I'll have customers who are asking, hey, Don, do you think I could just ship these myself, use Canada Post or what have you? And certainly you can, but you can't do it nearly as well as Amazon can do it. So we want to make sure we're tapping into Amazon's ability to handle packages and get those out to your customers in a very timely fashion. Okay. Now, when you're on Amazon, most people, like you and I, would
Hey, Don, we can't hear you. Or I can't hear you.
Hey, Don, we can't hear you, but you're not muted, so I think your mic died.
Hear me now.
Yes.
Excellent. My battery is about to die in my headset, so that's what happened. Okay. I know Denise has a question, but we'll get to that in 2 seconds. So more than 55% of all Amazon sales come from third-party sellers. And I can show you how you can tell if it's a third-party seller when we go on to Amazon for a bit of a tour around. But at the end of the day, Amazon buys products and sells them like a wholesale relationship, which we'll talk about as a vendor, or they sell it as a third-party seller, meaning you're just using them to sell through as a channel. Okay, think of it as consignment, for lack of a better way to put it. Okay, and the good news is that 80% of sellers sell on other platforms outside of Amazon. So you're not limited to just Amazon. You can sell on eBay. You can have your own Shopify site, which is very, very common. You know, you can sell through Instagram, however you want to sell your product, whether it's in brick and mortar or online. Most people are doing exactly that because you have to have a more of an omni-channel approach in order to make money. So all your eggs aren't in one basket. Because as we learned with the pandemic, when all retail shut down, a lot of people were left holding a lot of product. Okay. So I'll just pause there for a moment because I know I saw a hand go up with Denise. I'm not sure if there's a question in the chat that I should take a look-see at here.
I think it was just to let you know we couldn't hear you.
Got it. Boom. You hear me now? Let's go on. So they did a poll of why people shop on Amazon. And it's kind of interesting. You see 80% of people are because of the fast, free shipping. Okay. Broad selection. It's called the everything store for a reason. People are a Prime member because they have a number of different accounts that they get access to. So I get Prime Video, you get Prime Photos. If you're in the States, you get a lot more Prime benefits there, and those are coming to Canada. The best pricing, easy return process, et cetera, et cetera. And so as a customer, if we put ourselves in the customer's shoes, the point of this is the fact that most people who are buying your products are the same people who would be you buying theirs. So we want to think about is in the customer's shoes, why would I ever want to buy on Amazon? And a lot of times it's because I could find anything I want, it'll show up tomorrow, right? So if we think about that and think about our products and the customer experience of those products, you know, is it a consumable? You know, I have one client who does quinoa, right? And it's a consumable product. Their sales went through the roof when the pandemic hit. Why? Because people couldn't go to grocery stores and there was inventory at Amazon. So they sold a crap ton of quinoa, right? And the reason for that is it shows up tomorrow. I have all the opportunity to buy any kind of flavors and textures of quinoa that I want. And at the end of the day, if I don't like it, I can return it. And just like Walmart, if you buy something at Walmart and want to return it, there's typically very few questions asked. You have to be aware of that as the seller because you may get a half empty bag of quinoa returned to you, and then you're going to have to deal with that financially. But at the end of the day, you need to deal with it as part of your business case. Okay. Now, a lot of people use Amazon as a review kind of space. And so you'll go to Amazon, check for reviews. You may not end up buying on Amazon, but you end up going to Amazon to check for reviews. And reviews are a very important part of the overall experience. And there's a ton of things that Amazon is doing to protect the review space so that there's not as many bad actors tipping the scales of the review cycle. Okay, so why people shop on Amazon: fast, free, get whatever I want, return if I don't like it, great pricing, right? That's it. And so if your customers are people who would benefit from something like that, then this could be a channel for you. Okay. So real quick, looking at why we should sell on Amazon. So 60% of consumers believe that they'll do even more online shopping after the pandemic than they did before. Okay. This is a US economic penetration, but at the end of the day, it's the same for Canada and the US, right? We're all going to be doing more and more shopping on Amazon digitally for products. And I just want to share this one guy here, which is, I love this little knee point. This is what happened 2019 to 2020, right? So if you were already on Amazon, you benefited from that lift. All boats rise in a rising tide. And most of the clients that I'm dealing with weren't selling on Amazon prior to 2020. Some were curious and interested and not quite sure and worried about, messing up the channel, and doesn't Amazon, do horrible pricings, et cetera. And we can talk about all that. But at the end of the day, $1 out of 5 spent is from online retail, and Amazon owns 50% of that. So kind of a space you want to be, okay? Plenty of room for it to grow over the years, and especially because customers are going to be, we're not going back to the way it was. We're going to be going back, hopefully, but it's still going to be, all boats will have risen through the e-commerce process. Okay. Not sure if there are any questions about kind of the framing of Amazon and why it's important. I think we all kind of get that it's important, but I think the numbers hopefully provide some flavor of interest. Okay. I'll type them in the chat there. I just want to take a look. Okay. So one of the things that I've said a number of times in the previous soliloquy is customer. So when I worked at Amazon, it was an interesting process of you work backwards from the customer to then define the product and the thing that you're making for them. Okay, start from the customer experience and work your way backwards. And the reason we do that is because a lot of times we build products for ourselves, assuming or hoping there are people like me out there. And sometimes there are, and sometimes there aren't. So if we work from the customer backwards and think about, well, how do we present our product in the most favorable way to those customers? Okay, so I've put a couple examples of these things into presentation. And this is, I'm going to use a chili sauce as the example all the way through here. I could do this with any other type of product, of course. So this one here, I've got this little widget. So you don't have these widgets. When I go onto Amazon, it looks a lot different than when other people are shopping on Amazon. But I have these little widgets, and a couple things that we see here. So they've got 3 pictures. They can actually have 7 pictures. Okay, so there's more that can be told about this brand than just these 3 crappy little pictures as somebody turned it around. We have to show the ingredients on the back. That's something that Amazon requires for the grocery category. So there are some things we have to show. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure we can do a lot more and make this nice lady here smile. Right? So we can do more with this space. Now, the title, when you go to Amazon to search for chili sauce, the title is what you see, and you see this main image, right? my price, some details, and then about this item. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things that we can say about the product, and we have a lot more room to tell our story. Okay, so this one here is a solid 5 out of 10. They will sell product, but they're certainly not going to sell as much as they could if they had invested in appropriate keyword research and appropriate imagery and brand building. Okay. One thing to note, they have 57 ratings, okay, and they're only 3.5 stars. So on Amazon, the bar is 4 stars. If you are over 4 stars, you are a fantastic product. If you are under 4 stars, you are a horrible product. It is binary. It's ones and zeros. There is no middle ground. So it's our job to do everything we can to get more reviews, and now they're called ratings, because Amazon has made it easier for customers to at least provide some level of feedback. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. All right, there it is. Okay, here's another one. People love this product, 4.5 stars, 162 ratings, right? So more ratings. Been on the platform for roughly the same period of time. Solid 4 out of 10, only one little image, and only 3 bullets, right? It's made with chunks of garlic. It's not too hot, not too bland, just right. And comes in a resealable jar, right? So I'm sure between all of us, we could come up with a lot more ways in which this is a much better product than just those 3 sad bullets, okay? Including our ingredients, as well as our branding, okay? What's important to see here is even with a not great listing, you can still sell product, right? And I see this all the time. You have products that, honestly, people come to Amazon, they type in chili oil, and this will rank high for chili oil because it's right in the title, right? So you don't have to have a fantastic listing to sell some product on Amazon. I would argue you can do a much better job to build your brand on Amazon and sell a lot more units through appropriate keyword research and positioning on the platform. Okay. So this is one that I had done with one of the other mentors here, Stacy. The way that I describe it is somebody like Stacy puts a lot of great words together. I do all the keyword research in the back end, and I try to insert those keywords into the copy without losing the brand and the story that she's trying to sell. Okay, so for us, we have our abakichi sauce, wonderful sauce. You can go buy some. We have all the different pictures of the product, some of the awards that they've won, the ingredients, and then the lifestyle images to show how beautiful the product is or the application of it. Okay, so you want to make sure you're taking advantage of all those opportunities to tell your story through imagery, right? You can use your Instagram pictures for this. You want to have 1,000 pixels minimum. And one of my images, unfortunately, is less than 1,000 pixels. So Amazon dinged me a bit. But I can only do what I can with the client's content. Okay. You'll see the title is a lot longer. You get up to 200 characters for the title. And in here, we have a bunch of keywords. So I'm going to show up for Japanese, spicy chili miso, condiments, umami, vegan, and marinade. Like those are the keywords that we put in there, right? We also have this thing called a parent-child relationship, okay? What this does, it allows us to have traffic come to one page and give customers access to all of our different configurations that we have in stock. So right now we don't have the assorted tasting set in stock, so it's grayed out. But they can buy a 1-pack, a 2-pack of either the chili, the curry, or the spicy chili miso sauce. And so they may have come in on the spicy chili page, but now they're going to say, well, I may buy a few more of the items because we presented it to them. About this item, we have 5 bullets that talk about the story of the product. And in here, there's a ton of keywords. I'll be honest, most people don't know how to read, but the value of this is we have keywords loaded into here that allow us to show up for additional search terms. Okay, so Amazon has its own SEO on the site. Now, what I love about this is we are now 4.6 out of 5. We have 367 ratings. And when I did this back in 2019, we had under 60 ratings of the product. We were still over 4 stars, thankfully. Okay. We're number 5 in gourmet gifts on all of Amazon Canada. Okay. In grocery and gourmet food, we're 551, which is actually quite high, given the fact that that covers any grocery item that you could possibly buy from any supplier on Amazon. So the Heinz's of the world, you know, anybody who's selling any kind of sauces. Okay. So it's important to see the difference of what a good quality listing looks like and how it can tell the story for your brand. Okay. You really will swoon for it. You're correct. And that's not my word, that's Stacy. I saw Barry's on here too, so he can tell his wife. Okay, so what's important to understand is where it all begins on Amazon. So you go to Amazon, you see the front page, and there's this little drop down over here that you can click and get access to additional categories and subdivisions of searches if you so choose. I will tell you that 99.99% of customers keep it as all and just type what they want up there. So very little subdivision occurs. People just type in the search. And as I look at search histories and stuff through the tools that I have, I become more and more concerned about our education system because of the misspellings that occur. So we have to account for those types of things as we're going through our keyword research and history stuff. So people are going to go to this top search bar and they're going to type in something. And in this case, what I used was a glow stick. Okay. So glow sticks on this page, they typed in glow stick, they hit enter. There's a bunch of sponsored locations up here. Sponsored headline ad, which I'll talk about. Sponsored product ad. All down the side, there's sponsored ads. Okay. So anything that says sponsored is the Amazon pay-per-click system. Okay. So when you're developing the financial business case to launch a product on Amazon, you need to account for pay-per-click advertising, and you can use whatever budget you want. I recommend a budget of a couple $100s to start and build out the appropriate economic model to work for you to make money. Okay. But if you don't account for pay-per-click advertising, you're going to have a hard time on Amazon unless you have a very strong brand that people are typing in. Okay, so on this page, I'm going to close that down. We have an additional thing called Amazon's Choice. So Amazon, every 15 minutes, will update the Amazon's Choice badge with the who, when somebody typed in glow sticks, received the most sales. Okay, so that's going to change from time to time. You don't know when, you can't guarantee why, but it'll change. Sometimes you'll get it, sometimes you won't. But it is something that when customers look, they go, oh, that's Amazon's Choice. That's probably a good thing to try. Okay. So sponsored ads, a headline ad. Okay. This is premium space on Amazon that allows customers to see an assortment of your products and take them to a storefront, which I'll show you in a few moments. Okay.
We have a question for you, Don.
In the chat room.
Okay, so as an individual seller in 2021, Amazon limits using annotations within bullet points. How do we work around that as compared to the listings that you showcased?
Yep. So so in 2021, they've made some changes to what you can and cannot show on the listing. This is still within the terms of service of Amazon. What they've done is they make sure that you cannot show certain HTML code where you have little flowers and hearts and things you can put in front of bullets. That's something they've started to get rid of. What you have to make sure is that you are staying within the terms of service and understanding the changes as they occur. One of the challenges with Amazon is they will change the rules of the game when you're in the middle of the game. They don't notify you of those changes, and you just have to adapt. So we've had this happen with a number of clients. One in particular was a product that had a picture of a cannabis leaf on it, and Amazon said, nope, you can't sell cannabis. Well, we were selling worm manure that could be used to help grow cannabis. Wasn't good enough. So there's a lot of things that change, and you have to be able to adapt. And unfortunately, you don't have a lot of flexibility around that. What I can tell you is that this listing here is 100% within the terms of service for Amazon as it's stated today. And if they change the rules, we'll make the modifications to continue to stay within the terms of service of Amazon. Right? If there's a specific listing or ASIN or something that you'd like me to take a look at, and we can do that, throw it in the chat. I'm more than happy to take a look at and kind of walk through any minor modifications there that may be needed. So very quickly, what I want to go through here with this anatomy of a listing page is talk about these items, and we'll just kind of go through. We're providing this presentation, I believe, Mickey, right? Okay, so in the notes of the presentation, you'll see what each of these talks about as well, in case you forget, okay? So we've got our brand, okay? We have our title and our star ratings. And this is interesting, is that we're the #1 bestseller in emergency light sticks, okay? So for this product, customers are going to trust this product is a good product just based upon this information. They have a 4.5-star rating with 1,700 customer reviews and a whole bunch of answered questions. So customers are going to love this product, and they have shown that with their wallet. They've been purchasing this product, and it's the #1 bestsellers in a pretty big category. Okay. We have our list price, and what's interesting here is you can do, there's strike-through rules to show this 45% off discount, but you have to have that based upon the last 30 days MSRP. So Amazon does put some rules in place. So they would have had to list this product, and things have changed over time for anybody who's been selling on Amazon already, where you have to have that MSRP at 30 days at 1950 to then show that strike through. And candidly, sometimes Amazon won't give you the strike through anyway. And sadly, there's not much you can do about that. Okay. I'm not Prime when I did this in the States. I took this as an example from there. And you have this bar, number 6, that Amazon is trying to sell these customers to get into trying Prime for fast, free shipping. Okay. So Amazon is pushing people to go to Prime, which is why I say you want to be Prime, because at the end of the day, Amazon is going to be promoting you on the platform. Okay. Number 7, hey, if you can't wait, get it now. Order now in the next 2 hours and 16 minutes, and you're going to get 1 day shipping on this thing. And so Amazon is pushing you to make that decision. You see this with Shopify widgets. You'll see this with other widgets as well on your own website, where you can have, hey, Brittany from, Winnipeg is looking at this product and she just bought it. And it's that idea of FOMO, fear of missing out. And so Amazon has their own version of that as well. If you didn't have many left in stock, say you had less than 10 of these in stock, it would give a notification for customers to say, hey, there's only 10 left in stock. Hurry now, buy now. Okay. There's some games you can play with that. Okay. Pictures, we went through pictures already. This is the main listing. And this is driven by Amazon. You must have a product on a white background, just the product, and only the things shown in the product. You can't have a lifestyle image as the main image for the product. It's got to be a product like this. Okay. Now, first thing somebody will say is, I see examples on Amazon that there are lifestyle images for that first image. It's not on a white background, etc. And my answer is always, Amazon is consistently inconsistent with the application of the rules. Okay. They have bots and they have software to catch a lot of this stuff. At the end of the day, it's not perfect. And pointing out examples to the Amazon service agents of others who broke the rules does not allow you to break the rules too. Sadly, I've tried it. It doesn't work. Okay. So putting this image as your main image, this comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Show people the 10 it comes with. Here's what it looks like packaged up. This is a great first image. Okay. It's a product image. This is what you get when you buy the product. Okay. Down here, we have these other images down the side. This is what you see. This is how you feel when you have this product. But at the end of the day, I'm there to buy glow sticks. Okay. It's a product. Show me the product. Different configurations we talked about, 10-pack, 20-pack, 30-pack. So I can provide $1.06, 99 cents, 95 cents for each of these light sticks. And even they were inconsistent with their naming convention, which is a bit of a boo-boo. Okay. But again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Made in the USA, patented, guaranteed, industrial grade, waterproof. And what I like about this, and I use this template type as well, which is tell me the one thing in all caps that this product is going to do, and then support it. Okay. And so it's a template that I use because, again, people don't read most of the time. Okay. They look at a few pictures, they may look at pricing, and then they'll buy it. So you want to have this to capture their attention for the odd reader out there who's going to you're going to give them the one thing they should care about in these bullets. Okay. I want it now, how many I want to order, other sellers. So this is something I see frequently, especially with a lot of our food and bev clients is, well, I want to sell it, but I'm also selling to a distributor who's selling on Amazon and selling to this place and selling to that place. So Purity, for example, is a Pure Source, another distributor. And so they can absolutely list the product on Amazon. Amazon doesn't care if you have your product all over the place and distributors are cutting each other down in terms of pricing, because at the end of the day, customers want the lowest possible price. And so I have a client right now where what she does is she reaches out to each of the distributors, each of the people who are selling that product, to get them to raise their price up to MAP, right? That way, everyone wins, everyone's going to make money, and Amazon will then share this buy cycle with people at that price point. Okay. But it is something to be mindful of, is that these guys here are not going to sell their product for $1.20 per snap light, no matter what, because Amazon is going to offer this 1064 version every day because customers want lower prices. Okay. If you are selling your product only through your Shopify into retail and potentially on Amazon, then there won't be other sellers for you to worry about, but you can absolutely have other sellers. I could buy your product at the local grocery store for $12 and I could list it on Amazon for $12. I would lose money because Amazon makes their money, but anybody can list and sell your product. Okay. They don't need to have your permission to do so, and Amazon will never get in the way of that. Okay. So something we have to definitely ponder in terms of our channel strategy. Okay. Amazon controls this frequently bought together space. Okay, you have no say over this. And so what this shows is that people are buying multiple colors together, but you don't have any control whatsoever over that. That's Amazon's space. Customers who bought this also bought these items. Again, Amazon does this, you don't get to. But down here are sponsored products. Okay, so these people here who are selling signs and additional types of glow sticks, they are putting their product into those spaces, and it's a pay-per-click model. It's not pay-per-impression like Facebook would be, it's a pay-per-click. Okay, so if your product is not getting any clicks, well, what will happen is Amazon will say, well, clearly nobody wants this glow-in-the-dark self-stick polyester personal protection thing, and so we're not going to show it, or we'll show it further down because there's 32 pages of ads here, and we'll show it down on page 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but it's a real good competitive intelligence thing to do when you're looking at products that are here. If they're shown in this first part of the carousel, they're selling against your product. And so you want to use that as an opportunity to say, okay, should I target this glow stick as well? You know, return the favor. Are there other products that I have, maybe I don't have in my portfolio, that this survival work home first aid kit, maybe I should add it to my portfolio because people are obviously buying this product or Amazon wouldn't be showing it, right? It's really important to realize that Amazon is geared to sell product. They're only showing products that people are going to buy. Okay, so even if I bid $20 a click to try to get that first slot, Amazon wouldn't give it to me because Amazon is in the business of selling product. The ad stuff is the icing on the cake. It is not the reason that they are around. And so very different than Facebook or Google, where they'll take my money. I can bid on Facebook. It's pay-per-impression. Here's $100 and you can burn through $100 pretty quickly. Google, if I bid $20 a click, they're happy to put it there. Okay, but Amazon is different. Amazon is geared towards selling products, and it's a bit of a mind shift to kind of go through. Okay. Below the fold, as you continue to flow down, you've got this product description, and I'll talk a little bit about this on the next couple slides, okay? But then the product details, and you can see here all of our bestseller ranks, number 1, number 4, number 4, for all these different types of categories, okay? This is important because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that Amazon is putting you in the right categories. Sometimes they change the category on you because they felt like it. And you want to make sure that you're ranking high enough that you're getting really good return on your investment. Okay. So a lot of stuff there about the product and how it's presented. There's one more view that I quickly want to show because Amazon is in the business of brands. They want brands on Amazon, not just random sellers of stuff from Alibaba. Okay, there's a lot of that, clearly. There's a market for that. People make money doing that, and that's totally fine. However, Amazon wants brands. Amazon wants you to have a brand trademark listed on their site so that they can talk about all these brands that they have and they're selling. Okay. You don't need to be Nike. Okay. You don't need to be Lululemon. What you need to do is get a trademark for your product, your brand. Okay. So they want brands of all sizes. And I have most of my clients they have a trademark. We're in the process of getting a trademark. Okay. Or we're in the early stages of testing to see if it's worth investing in the trademark. Okay. They offer additional features and benefits for registered trademark brands. And one of the things you really need to look at is, are your competitors that you are going up against showing better content because of this? So I get additional branded content for customers on my page. It replaces the product description. I'll show you what it looks like. I get a storefront section where you can introduce your brand. So I can actually have a store, amazon.ca/Abakichi. Okay. If you go to that site, it takes you directly to a storefront page, and I can tell the story of my brand. I can show videos. I can show great content. I can have interviews with the founders. Again, I can tell the whole story. And it's very unique, and it differentiates us from the random Lao Hao Mai product. Okay. So additional content, storefront section. You also get additional advertising placements. Okay. So only brands get that top banner ad space. Okay. Only brands can do video sponsored ads on Amazon. Okay. Only brands can do sponsored display ads directly above the fold on people's pages. So it really opens up opportunities for us to get more eyeballs onto the product and really show people what we have. Okay. You need to have a registered trademark in any country. You can go to Timbuktu and get a trademark if they're faster. Doesn't matter. Okay. But, and this is something reasonably new, Amazon has what's called this IP accelerator. And the IP accelerator is legal firms that are approved by Amazon. Miller Thompson and Gowlings, and those are approved. But it allows you to get access to the brand registry benefits prior to having the actual documentation. Okay. Because getting a trademark these days can take 18 months. And I'd hate to have you wait 18 months to get access to all these great benefits and features. The IP accelerator is the same price as any lawyer that you'd work with. I've had a couple quotes, I've had a couple clients do it, and it was around $1,000 to get their trademark done. It just depended on how many placements and types and what have you. But you're working directly with a legal firm. You're not working with Amazon. You know, I facilitated those conversations, but you know, it's more about connecting you with the lawyers who are approved so you can get that trademark. Okay. It used to only be in the States, which you could still do because Amazon accepts it from any place, but you'd have to pay US dollars. Now they have it in Canada as well. And so you can get that registered trademark from any approved Canadian firm. And it's all the big guys that we all know and have worked with before. Okay. So highly recommend the trademark aspect, if only to protect your own brand longer term. But if you're really going to invest into Amazon as a real channel for you, then the trademark really does allow you to get access to a lot better features. Okay. I do have clients who we don't have a trademark. We've been selling there for years and we've been doing just fine. Okay. But the trademark is something that allows us to put better content together that allows us to tell more of a story for what we're presenting. And so when you go to the Abakichi page, and I didn't write any of this, I didn't do any of the photography, I just facilitated the process with, you know, Stacy's creativity and my knowledge of Amazon to put this in here. But what it does is it allows us to differentiate ourselves from the competition, right? If I'm going to Amazon to buy chili oil and I know I want the S&B chili oil, I'm just going to go buy the S&B chili oil, and nobody cares about this stuff. Okay. But if I'm looking for chili oil and I'm like, oh, what's this one? I haven't heard of it before. Let me click that ad, right? Or maybe it's somewhere on the page, and they see this great experience of, wow, look at this. And oh, #1 in Toronto, blah, blah, blah. Then it tells a better story. And it's a greater opportunity for you to build that connection with your customers, right? A lot of times people will, when they're doing comparison shopping, right, they will have seen one type of jar at Market Fresh, as an example. They only carry the one. I go to Amazon, I need to buy another jar. I don't feel like going out to get it. I look and I go, oh, wow, they have a bunch of other additional jars and flavors. I didn't know. Oh, there's some additional ways in which people are using that product. That's pretty interesting. How can I use the product? So you're building a much better experience with your customers through the branded assets. Okay. So just real quick before I go on, I've seen a few. What are the pros and cons? Okay, so generic versus specific brands. So there aren't necessarily any pros and cons of being a generic brand versus a specific brand on Amazon. You can call your brand whatever you want and have it listed on Amazon, registered with Amazon, and get access to all those benefits. If it's something you're using in other areas of the channel that people would recognize, you'd obviously want to tie those together, and you want to be consistent with the way you're presenting your brand. Okay, so I've seen lots of, what I'll call random Chinese brands from factories in China that are making cell phone cases, as an example. They have a brand, they register it, they have access to all these great benefits to try to differentiate themselves from the competition. Okay, so I don't see any, pros or cons. I see an opportunity for us to get access to a branded experience that Amazon is promoting by giving you access to the additional advertising slots, the additional branded content on the page, and then that storefront off the page. Okay. Does it really matter in which country we register trademark in terms of protection of our brand? Okay, so when you register your brand, Amazon is not going to do anything to protect your brand from other bad actors. Okay. What it does allow you to do is if somebody tries to list on top of your product with clearly a counterfeit product, then you have the ability to get it removed. So it does give you some protection aspects, but if you have a trademark in Mexico, which I've seen, you get a trademark in Mexico, and you register it with Amazon US, they're not going to use that in any way to help you protect your brand. You have to be doing it yourself and use the trademark for any infringement items. Okay. Additionally, if you have a patent on something, I have a client, let's see, Seating Square. I'll do a plug for Seating Square. So this is a client of ours that we're working through that does a product that is frequently copied by Chinese factories trying to sell the product. It's just a piece of plastic with some really interesting holes and configurations, so you know what to plant and how to keep it really tight in the space. Okay. She's used her patent to get copycats removed from Amazon, but her trademark isn't something that can be used to remove those copycats. Okay. What differs when I register in another country other than US and Canada? So yeah, so there are no differences from Amazon's perspective, whether you're in the US, Canada registration, if you have one in Europe with a trademark, Amazon doesn't care. You just need to register it with Amazon, and they'll give you access to all those benefits. Okay. Again, they will not help you protect your trademark. Unfortunately, Amazon expects you to do that yourself. Okay. So, Seating Square, go buy one. Great gift for your kids. Yes, and so I will take a look at that product. We'll just wait for the Q&A section. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go to the storefront very quickly. Okay. Okay, so here's a storefront, and this is a very simple storefront. It's a one-page storefront, which gives us access to some great videos. And so this is a promo video that the team had done previously that really shows off the use of it, how they make it. You know, it's very engaging for people who are interested in the brand, not just any old chili oil. Okay. We then show applications and how to use it, and then where to buy it, right? Here's links to the actual products to go purchase, all right? This is a very simple one that we use. So Lucky Iron Fish is another client that we have. And this is one where you can actually add tabs to show more usage, okay? What this requires is additional content that you have to have. And you can just take content you have from your own website to apply it to the Amazon storefront experience, right? So a big part of Lucky Iron Fish is their social impact. And they talk about what that means and how they use these fish to help solve iron deficiency in the world, right? They provide recipes on here because people are curious, how do I use this iron water without having it impact the taste of my recipe that I may be cooking? And how do I get the best benefits out of it? Through some tips and facts. Okay, so you can go as simple as that Abakichi one, which serves the purpose. It's perfectly fine. Or you can go a bit more, bit more expanded into additional tabs. Okay. So benefits from using a storefront experience really is about telling your brand story and allows you to expand that impact across the platform. Okay. So one thing to quickly look at is mobile on Amazon. If you are like me, most of us are shopping on our phone these days. And so Amazon is no different. Amazon, this is some older stats. I couldn't find some new stats, but I'm pretty sure it's grown. At the end of the day, 84% are going through the mobile browsing on the app. And that was in 2019. So 2021, I guarantee it's more. I just couldn't find it, find the updated chart. Okay. It's growing. And so the purpose of this chart is just to tell us if we don't consider the mobile experience with any web interface that we are creating, we're going to lose customers. It's no different from your Shopify than your Amazon site, okay? Because on Amazon, there are differences to consider. So this is a screenshot looking for my spicy chili miso. And I typed in chili sauce. What we see is fewer parts of my listing are actually shown. So I have roughly 50 characters. On some of the wider phones, you can get 65 characters. And so it's really important that you lead with your most compelling reason why they should click. Okay. So for us, it was premium Japanese spicy chili miso oil. And we were able to fit the word savory. That was the one word that, came up many times. And we wanted to make sure it was in the front of the product. Now I could have replaced that with vegan or non-GMO, but I'm sitting inside a character count so that we can see how it's going, right? And you can see back when I did this, they only had 18 reviews, right? And nothing's changed. When I go to the page, I have the full title, the picture of that first image, my flavor, and my price. Okay. What's interesting is there are no bullets to explain the value prop in the mobile experience. So this better tell the story and your image better sell it in mobile. And so it's something that I spend a lot of time working through with clients, is making sure that we have the right first 50 to 65 characters, especially again, devices have become a lot wider these days. Making sure that the image and the full title is something that's going to show and tell the story so people want to buy. Okay. When they scroll, I've scrolled a little bit. Okay, only 2 left in stock. The purpose of the mobile experience is for you to buy quickly. Okay, add to cart. That's their call to action. And below here, buy now. So the end of the day, Amazon on a mobile experience is geared towards purchasing, not necessarily discovery. Okay, and it's important that we consider that as part of the way we structure the page. So there's a lot that goes into this to make sure I have the best 50 characters that tell my story as possible, a really clear title that talks about what the heck I'm doing, and a wonderful image of that first image that I can use so that people get a sense of the product. Okay. When I scroll down, okay, the first thing that they show isn't anything about my bullets or copy. It's competitors. So Amazon's going, well, if you got this far, you probably don't want this product. So let me show you some other ones you may be interested in. Amazon doesn't care if you sell your product. What they care is that someone buys a product. And it's a very important mentality to get into when you're trying to list products on Amazon. Understanding the buy flow and understanding why Amazon is presenting things the way they are. They want customers to find the chili sauce. If it's not going to be this one, we want it to be one of these other ones, right? And the first thing you look at is that truff hot sauce is the first one that shows. The other thing to notice with the ads, notice how short that is in terms of the character count. There's not a whole heck of a lot to see. So even in our ads that would show up on truff sauce, you'd get premium Japanese, and that's about it in there. And so again, you really have to think about the way that you're going to be positioned and shown on the platform in order to have the maximum impact from a sales perspective. Okay. And then real quick, this is again the brand side that Amazon is going, I want brands on the platform. Look here, the next thing is product description with all this wonderful stuff. And this is why we created the product description with our bullets, just repeated in the product description, because I wanted to make sure that we told that story, right? So thinking about if I didn't have brand registry, this would just be a wall of text. It wouldn't show our wonderful brand, and it wouldn't allow me to have the nice bold here, because this is in that below the fold A+ content that only brands get. Okay, so I wanted to walk through mobile and a mobile experience when it comes to Amazon, because it's an important part given the growth of mobile and the number of people who just scan a barcode at Metro and see if they can buy it cheaper somewhere else. Okay.
Just a quick time check for you, Don. We're at about 1:15.
1:15, it's only 50. Oh man, Mickey talked a lot. Seller versus vendor. Okay, I'm going to go through this very quickly. I'll just click through these and okay. So seller versus vendor. Amazon is a channel as a seller that you sell through. They typically charge 15% as a listing fee. So they don't charge you to just have it there. They charge you when you sell it. They're going to have additional service charges for FBA services. We set the MSRP for our product. Okay. We forecast. We do advertising. Okay, so we own this and we are shipping it to them. They're presenting our product to customers. Customers buy, they ship it. Okay. As a vendor, Amazon is a customer that we sell to. So Amazon is like Metro. I would sell my product to Metro. Metro is going to forecast with me. They're going to tell me that we need, 100 units by this date, and we're going to ship to them in a forecast mentality. Okay. Amazon sets the MSRP based on what is most profitable for them. Okay. Every single buyer at Amazon will tell you that you have the freedom to set your MSRP, and every single one of them is lying. Okay. When you're first dating, absolutely, right? If they find that they're not making enough money off of your product, they're going to say, we think you should drop your price by $5. And let's see if we make more money that way. And you're like, okay, well, we'll try it. But now I'm worried about other channels and conflictions and whatnot. And so Amazon will set the price that makes them the most money. There's no two ways about it. I guarantee you they will tell you, the glossy brochure won't tell you that that's the case. Unfortunately, I guarantee you that they were going to set the price that's going to make them the most money. Okay. And we are still responsible for advertising. Just like a flyer that we have at Metro, we pay for the advertising space, we pay for the shelf fees, etc. Same thing. Okay. So when I look at seller versus vendor, I recommend vendor for some clients who are just, their operations is geared towards getting an order for Metro, shipping to Metro. Okay. I prefer seller because we have more control over things, and it allows us to be able to set our pricing a bit more with a bit more flexibility than through a vendor sell. Okay, but I have clients who are vendor as well, and some of them do very well. Okay, how much money do I make? Right, just what did I give? So on Amazon Canada, there's a monthly fee of $30 for a professional account, and I highly recommend you get it. Otherwise, the $1.49 shipping cost, and you're not eligible for Prime without a professional account. So for the $30, honestly, if you sold 25 units or 22 units or whatever, you're going to break even on that $30 anyway. So just do it. Okay. There's a referral fee, typically 15%. Okay, but I put a little link in here that talks about each of the different categories. Some of them are more expensive and some of them are less expensive. I think baby goods and some of the grocery goods can be 8% if they're under $20 MSRP. Full by Amazon fees depends on the weight and the size of it. So just like shipping a product from Canada Post, same thing. And the inventory storage fees, Amazon is a fulfillment center, not a warehouse. And so it's critically important that you realize that. You want to ship enough inventory in for it to flow through, not to store. They have changed some of the rules. Long-term storage fees kick in after a year, and they can be very, very painful. Thousands and thousands of dollars in storage fees. You can always have Amazon return it to you. It's like 50 cents a unit. There's some additional complexities, but we can talk about that if we need to. Okay. So depending if you want to see, okay, what's going on, I don't think I put that on there. So if you need help, reach out to Mickey. We can take a look at what is going on for your category, what's happening, large or small. I've got a bunch of tools that I would use to kind of go through that. How many searches are your competitors receiving? I can snoop in on a lot of different things, a lot of cool tools for Amazon, very similar to any kind of website IT folks that you may talk about for other types of things. But for Amazon, it's very specific tools. Category large or small or growing, I can do that. And already selling on Amazon, what keywords are you missing? How much are your competitors selling in the category? It says a bunch of you are selling already, which is great. Advertising strategy, copyright refresh for the listing and update front end and back end and all that other fun stuff to make sure that you have a product that can be successful on the platform. It's usually around 500 bucks a SKU in terms of time and space and effort that it takes, but we can take a look at it and see what's going on. Okay, so we'll send this out to you. Some final thoughts. I'll let you guys read it afterwards because I know there are questions. And it's 1:20. We only have 10 minutes.
Thanks, Don. Okay, we'll take some questions. I think Jordan might have one or two that remain in there, and you were sent a link to take a look at some of these examples. So maybe we can do kind of a live little demo walkthrough of what you would normally do. It'll have to be relatively quick because we don't have much time left, but it will still be neat to see.
Yep. Okay, so a couple things that taking a look at. So we're not selling. So we have a couple different products. So definitely want to add some more images if possible of this. One of them would be thickness, perhaps. Would be interesting for people to see. This copper foam metal sheet density. Yeah, so there's some definite bullets that we can do here. Copper foam, in terms of the product itself, would be your primary keyword, or metal foam, what people would be searching for on Amazon to look at. I like the parent-child setup. And I know this 150 gram, 200 gram is like the density of the product, and people are going to be, who are buying this are going to know that. So that's good. Currently not selling. No inventory. Yeah, there must be no inventory of this one. And here's the product description. So again, not registered as a brand as of yet. If I did a quick search on this product here, see what's happening. So this is a tool, and if you're doing Amazon, frankly, this Helium 10 product is a fantastic product. I pay for one of their pretty high memberships, so I get access to all this data and information. So this one here doesn't have any real search volume in Canada, at least for copper foam. Perhaps in the US, there's more search volume for that. What you want to make sure if you're doing Amazon research in the US, always put your delivery address in the US. Otherwise, it will not show the same products. So I just use my old address in Mountain View. Copper foam, there's your product. And in the US, let's see if anybody's searching for copper foam. Oh, maybe. Yeah, so 33 a month, so not a whole lot for this. Peak of kind of 245 a month in terms of searches. So not a super high keyword, about a one a day searching for it. It's a bit of a niche product anyway. This page, all the product on this page sells $11 million of product a month. Now this Sealy memory foam bed is a big part of that, and that's probably not an appropriate product. So again, what I would do is go through this type of data with you and just try to understand how big is this category. And is copper foam your right first word? Because based upon, I wouldn't have used copper foam as the first primary keywords if possible. So something to take a look at. Okay. Amazon renewed. Yes. Let me see what else here. No account listing, by the way. I'm just going through all the other questions.
I think otherwise you covered all of the questions we received on.
So that's the copper foam one again. Yeah. Okay. Let me quickly do this. Stainless steel powder. Okay. Yeah, so 3D printing material is a really hot category, obviously. And depending if people are actually searching for that grade of stainless steel, we could check to see if it's worthwhile to go after that. Stainless steel powder may be a better keyword, and then 304L would be the actual type of keyword or type of product. Style, generic brand. Yeah, so brand name is generic. So that's John's question about generic. I would not use the brand name generic if possible, because this is what comes out, right? So, not sure. Some interesting products that are going to show up here. Sorry, all my little plugins are loading. Right, so cloth face masks and neck gaiters and jeans and you name it. So I would not use a brand called generic. I would create a brand that is generic, right? Bit of a difference in there. So definitely don't want to just use the brand generic, because like, let's create a brand around this kind of 3D metal printing category that will allow us to show why our stainless steel powder is better than the others. Right. So if I look at stainless steel powder, stainless steel grains. Yeah, see, this is random Chinese brand here, but at least they're branded and they'll have good placement. And stainless steel powder, because it's at the front end of our title, that's why it's showing up here. Now, my guess is stainless steel powder does not have a ton of searches in Canada. Very quickly. Yeah, so no real searches for stainless steel powder in Canada. So we have to look for additional keywords and things that would make sense. So if this one here, for example, is a competitor, we could pull competitor keywords from this type of product, pull it from stainless steel. What these are coming up, so stainless steel, for example, I could now tell stainless steel powder is not a great keyword because these are all stainless steel powder coated products, right? And that's why they're showing up on page 1. Okay. So there's a couple things that we need to do is really take a look at the category of stainless steel powder and 3D metal printing, which I have an inkling of understanding of from previous work with a few smart people, and see whether or not this is going to be a good channel for you to sell that type of product, or whether it would be more more appropriate for a different channel, which that may be the case, or we can start building out a channel on Amazon. Okay. So yeah, for any product that we're not sure about, here's a good example of this copper foam supercapacitor that would be a competitor to your other product. And what we can quickly, we have 3 minutes, take a look at here is whether or not it's only got 1 rating. Much better bullets, much better pictures, right? They have the parent-child relationship. Here's a problem, usually ships within 6 to 10 days. And that's usually a problem for sell-through rate. I much prefer to see that as FBA. Let's see, quick look here. For some reason, they're in the multi-tester category. Product description.
As you do some searching, and I know that people are starting to hop off the call, I just wanted to let everyone know that we've put the feedback link in the chat. We would love for your feedback. And as well, just a little promo for next month. Our Toolkit Tuesday will be on Tuesday, September 21st. I cannot believe that I am saying September is next month, but it is. So we hope to see you there. If you can stay, Don will finish up what he's working on now and give you a little bit more feedback. But then we're going to go for the day. So I wish you all a wonderful Tuesday, and we hope to see you next month. Email Jordan or I any questions you have, or if you'd like to get in touch with Don, just give us an email and we'll try to connect you and figure out how we can help. So thanks so much. Please continue, Don. Sorry.
Right. Well, no, just very, very quickly. the competitive product here doesn't really have a lot of search volume either for supercapacitor. Copper foam doesn't have any real search volume in Canada. So we'd have to, what it's telling me is that this is a fairly new category on Amazon, and we'd have to kind of see what other products would be sold with it or around it that we could advertise against to try to get more of a basket sale approach is what I would need to take a look at with you to see what makes sense. Right, so we can do that. If we spent an hour going through like this kind of just one-on-one, we could kind of bring a whole lot of ideas up and determine whether or not it makes sense for you to sell the product on that channel. And with that, I think I'm done.
Now, Jordan, we got all the questions?
Thank you, Carol.
Yeah, excellent. So unless there's one last question, I'm going to guess that's a no. Thank you so much, Don. Would like to, oh, Stephen would like you to take a look at his. Can you just put it in the chat box, Stephen? Put the link in there so Don can take a look. But thank you so much to Sleo for coming and interpreting for us today. Thank you so much to our sponsors and to Don and to Jordan for helping out. This has been a great session. So I hope that you have all learned something and will let us know if you have any more questions.
Cool. So
Have a
this
great day.
is